This is the 2006 Mitsubishi Eclipse. And this is me 6 years ago. I had only one rule for my first car, and that it had to be a stick shift. I'm gonna be doing things such as restoring these awesome headlights. These fog lights, I'm gonna replace those. Sometime I'm gonna be installing a rear wing on this, and I'm gonna be painting the entire car. I told myself I'm never gonna sell this car, and I'm gonna keep it forever. So I did, until today. Here's why I sold my first car and why I don't regret it. Why an Eclipse? Because my older brother had an Eclipse when he was a teenager, 15 years ago. He recommended that I get the newest one. They're actually really cheap now. I never wanted to get rid of this car. It was my first of many things. It was my first car, my first oil change, my first ticket, my second ticket, my third ticket, my first accident. Anyways, no teenager should have been allowed to have a 6-speed manual 300 horsepower car. After years of me abusing it, a lot of things broke on it and everything looks like crap. So I wanted to restore it and keep it forever. That is until I got my Dodge Neon SRT4. I literally never drove my Eclipse again. The clutch exploded on it for the second time, so I just left it in the background of my life. It sat in different driveways and eventually in the back of my first repair shop, and it never moved again. When I was moving out of my first repair shop, I noticed something horrible happened to it. I forgot the passenger door doesn't lock with the key, so the whole time it sat back there, it was unlocked. And little did I know, a homeless man lived in it. Yes, a homeless man. And who knows for how long. This was the final straw. This was the most useless thing I own right now. And my new repair shop was missing one crucial tool, a car lift. I posted it on Facebook for $2,000 or trade for a car lift. And some guy actually wanted to trade me for a car lift. So I got right to cleaning it out. Alright, so we're cleaning out the Eclipse from all the trash in it. And it smells so bad. Everything is soaking wet. When I opened this in the winter, it was like up to here, just filled with vomit and puke and I don't know, maybe even pee, because it was all ice, so I didn't even know. Dude, it smells even in the shop. I had the bay open and I went inside. It smells so bad in this car. For some reason, the homeless guy decided to rip up my freaking rubber ducky. I cleaned the piles of trash out of it and held my breath the whole time. Everything was soaked with yellow smelly liquids. This interior is ruined. I've also never drank alcohol in my entire life, and to see my Eclipse filled with empty bottles breaks my heart more than the pile of vomit sitting right next to it. But the big question is, will it still start? Alright, I hooked up my jump box to it, but I guarantee it will start. This car literally has never not started for me one time ever. I just want to get whatever I have left in here out. I did have a GoPro mounted in here, and it is gone, unfortunately. But my machete is still in here. Literally like nothing. Like nothing. I'm gonna miss it so much. Buttery smooth, runs amazing. Dude, this is all like old Mike Zula memorabilia. Wow, look at all this old stuff. Dude, my OG keychain. I bought this keychain when I was like 16 when I very first got the car. This is an old keychain. Yo, what? No way. Someone gave me these like 2 years ago and I forgot them in here. That guy didn't take anything. Ooh, I need this. That was just loose on there. I got the subwoofers out, put them over there for now. Now I'm gonna move all the wheels from Jessica's Civic Si to this because I am not getting rid of it with these BBSs. I'll buy Jessica a new set of wheels one day. Maybe I'll ask Temu to send them to me. Now look at how absolutely awesome Jessica's car looks. Dude, look at this freaking fitment, bro. That's crazy. That looks so good, dude. So yeah, there's not really a whole bunch left to do on the Eclipse to get it ready to sell. I left all the doors open for 3 whole days to let the interior dry out. I also put a ton of air fresheners and spilled a bottle of shampoo on the rear seats just to mask all the smell. As much as it hurts me to do this, it's time to do the frickin' trade. I'm borrowing Jessica's dad's car and I rented a U-Haul trailer. This was like $65 with insurance. I need to freaking strap down the lift onto this somehow. Probably one post here, and the legs all put in here. I'm pretty sure in the U-Haul agreement it did say that I'm not allowed to put anything on this trailer besides a car, and like I'm not allowed to strap cargo to it, not even like spare wheels or anything. I was just kidding when I said I'm putting the lift on that. I'm actually just gonna put it on the roof of this car, and yeah, I'm just gonna be carrying this trailer empty. We got the whole gang out. We're about to tow this Eclipse. Everyone say hi. Hi. We packed our things and started heading to the guy's house. This trip was going perfect so far, until it wasn't.
Mike's vlog, and we're in the car because Mike left the title at the shop. I can't be doing that, so we're just sitting here waiting for Mike to get the title, and then we'll be back on the road.
We made it. Check this out, dude. It's wait, is that 110? What is that?
Look.
That's not 110. What the heck is that?
Yeah, that's, oh wait, that is weird.
What the frick?
That might be that actually looks like a European outlet. That looks like a European outlet.
They imported this. This thing's like brand new. The lift looked pretty good. It was missing quite a few small things though. Just nickel and dime things, I thought. The guy didn't want to be on video, so I didn't really record anything while I was there. We got back to the shop way later than anticipated, and we got straight to unloading. Even with 6 people, this was a struggle, dude. Each post weighs 500 freaking pounds. So now somehow we need to get this giant bar on top of here. We don't even have all the hardware. I got some random hardware and we started measuring where we needed to put the lift and how far apart it needed to be. This was gonna be a freaking project, man. And here it is. It's up. It's not fully down yet because we don't have like any of the hardware. We have to get all this stuff for that. We don't have any of the hardware to put this top brace on. I had to dig through my bucket of just bolts. And I don't have these giant pins for the feet. I gotta order those. And then I also don't even have the feet. I only have 2 feet. So my friend is making me those at his work. I also need to get a new hose for this because it was broken at the top. I need to get hydraulic fluid. There's just a lot of little things we need to set up. Dude, it's been a rough time to put this lift up. This lift is really hard to put up, but this is a 11,000 pound lift. This is a huge lift. This is not one of those cheap Temu lifts. I think this spot is perfect for the shop because we can roll a car back, we can put it on the lift, and then roll a car under the lift, and then we still have 2 spots here, so we have 4 parking spots, and we can still get those 2 cars out if we really needed to. Mike's vlog. I went over to Summit Racing because they actually have bend pack parts for lifts, and I'm missing these pins right here to attach the arms to the lift, and they had them. They were $25 each, so I spent $100 on these metal rods. I got 4 of them. I'm taking all these really heavy arms outside to pressure wash them. It's set at a body shop, so they're full of overspray and Bondo dust. We're ready to drill. We got the hammer drill with the right fit, and we only have 1 shot at this, I guess. Everything is squared up for the most part. It looks pretty good, not crooked or anything. We ended up using 6 anchors for each side. I think they're rated for like 2,000 pounds each. That'll be more than enough to support the lift, right? It's the next day. Day number 3. I have a bunch of new hydraulic lines plumbed in. I had to get all new fittings for all the top of all of them and new lines. I got red to match the lines in the neon because I thought it'd be silly. Now, this is empty right now. I mean, it looks full, but it's, wait. Yo, that's full. I'm like, Yo, that's disgusting. I'm taking all of that out right now. I thought that was just stained. Anyways, I bought a 5-gallon drum of hydraulic fluid. I don't know if I actually need that much. I did just make an extension cord. I had to cut this end off and make my own because there's a weird looking plug right here. I was just making sure all the wires were correct. Plugs into here, and it's a 220. So I have an extension cord running all the way up to the front. I ordered it a little too small. I wanted to run it across the top of the shop, but it was like $50 more for a longer cord, so I'm not gonna do that. Let's see if it pops when I plug it in, or if I get shocked. No one else is here, just me. Let's see if I wired this correctly. Okay, I got the tank off. It's dripping right here. The fluid doesn't look horrible, but it is definitely very black. Okay, so the hydraulic fluid was actually like filthy and disgusting. So I cleaned the tank as much as I could. This is all like spray paint that won't come off, but it came out decent. It was really disgusting. Let's see how big of a mess I can make. I don't think I could have made a bigger mess. I've never used a 5-gallon bucket before, and I didn't realize it literally has a built-in funnel into it. You just have to pop it out. Oh my gosh. I can't do it anymore. This was not worth it. Never. Now let's see if it's gonna blow up. Boom. All right, ready?
Yeah.
It did something.
So you're just trying to see if it's gonna do anything right now? Oh wow, something.
It's actually moving.
Yeah.
It's actually moving. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, is it leaking from the top? Oh, dude, that thing is... Dude, this is sad. Oh, I don't know. I don't think it would be. I don't know what it's leaking from. So this lift has been sitting for like a lot of years, and I think the seals just needed to be reseated because I ran it up like 5 times up and down, and it's not leaking anymore. We spent some time figuring out the orientation of the legs. I couldn't really find any information on this online, but we got it right. All the lift arms are on. Everything is together except the leveling cables because we don't have the leveling pulleys yet. They're still coming in the mail. This one's kind of drooping a little bit. He's lagging behind. That's why we need these leveling cables. And the first car I ever lifted with this lift is my Mitsubishi Eclipse. So underneath here, we have a pulley. This string is supposed to go all the way down and around that and back up. I ordered them. They're going to come in like a week. So I literally cannot use this thing for a week while I'm waiting on 2 dumb little pulleys. Those 2 dumb little pulleys never showed up. So my friend Ryan actually made me some out of scrap metal from his work. He also made me my missing feet and feet risers. This literally saved me hundreds of dollars. Lift parts are so dang expensive, dude. I also made a YouTube short about rebuilding the rubber pads that go on the feet. Those are literally another $100 if I needed those. This is the best day ever. In here, in the corner, we found this wrench. Just a random wrench. And look at this. I don't have the right size to tighten these bolts down. But this freaking wrench is literally the exact size I need to tighten these freaking bolts down. Alright, let's check it out. Now it's perfect. Wow, that couldn't be more perfect. Oh crap. I'm seeing drops over here again. Oh man. Ignoring that, we have one thing left to do. Now the first car we're gonna put on this lift will have to be a car that I don't really care about. And there's only one car in my entire collection I don't really care about. And it's the Lexus. Now I'm not even gonna take any of the stuff off of it right now because I'm not gonna drive it. I just want to see if it'll go on the lift and if the lift will fall on it.
Oh. Whoa! Yeah. You almost sent it into the kitty room. Oh.
Cool. It's pretty even. This is a Toyota. I thought this was a Lexus. Look at this. It's so cool. Look at how, I don't think I've ever really had this. Oh my god, why is there wood? Who put this here? This might have been like holding something up. I have no idea.
I've never seen that piece of wood before. There's like a
Dude,
groove
this
in it.
100% was like holding
Maybe the
something up.
suspension.
Dude, oh, this was holding the control arm up. Okay,
What?
I'm putting this right back on here for future sake. Yeah, it goes right here. Don't forget, guys, on your Lexus, don't forget to put that back.
Well, did you see all the writing?
All the writing. If you want to see more about this Lexus and other funny cars we do, please subscribe and watch the other crap we do. Besides the leaking hydraulics, the lift works really well and I used it every single day for about a month before I ruined it. Mike's vlog. So unfortunately, I burned out my pump. It's a very dumb thing. I don't hear it talked about often, but it is very easy to blow up these pumps actually. If you look on the side here, it says, allow 2 seconds between the motor starts. Failure to comply can cause motor burn out. And that's exactly what I did. So I didn't know that. I didn't read any of the warning labels. I've never heard anyone ever talk about that. And I've always seen people, even at dealerships, they always spam the button a couple times to get it up to like the desired height. And that's what I was doing one day. And so now sounds like this. And it doesn't move the lift at all. And when you do it enough times, you start to see smoke coming out of it. Now you might be asking, well, there's a car on the lift. How are you gonna get it off now? Well, this pump does still work, but it only works if there's no load on the machine. Now that might sound like an issue if it's in the air already, but you just have to lower it onto the locks. And now it'll work perfectly. So it still works if you start it with no load. So you have to either start it from the ground or start it from being unloaded onto a lock. So this thing's on borrowed time. It's still usable for the time being, but there's only a matter of time before it even stops working as it is. And I looked up this exact model right here. It's a Duro pump, and these are a grand total of $800. So what did I do? Well, I talked to my guys at Temu, and they sent me a brand new freaking pump for this thing. Now this V4 pump is only like 200 bucks on Temu, but I'm sure it'll work just fine for my needs. I'm not a dealership. I'm not going to be using the lift 30 times a day. It's just going to be up and down a few times like a week. Replacing the pump was easy, besides the fact they're like 100 pounds. The only issue is I think I bought the wrong one. There's no ports anywhere for the return, so I just feed it through here, but let's see if I even need that. Okay, so while we're going down, I don't see any fluid coming out of the return line. So this line is now essentially deleted. This style pump just uses the inlet side again as the return. And that's it. Project complete. As much as I'm gonna miss my first ever car and the memories, I now own one of the most useful tools ever created in the automotive industry. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more epic stories like this.